how does one build confidence across all aspects of their life?
Well, so I always say start from where you're strong. So where are you strong? What do you like about you? What do you enjoy and what are you grateful for and what do you love about you? And for some people it's just starting with the what do I like about me? And that's even a tough place to start. So it's kind of different places where people will start. And I would say start from where you are confident, and then look to where you want to build confidence. So, for example, we've got a lot of people who are very confident in their work life, and they know what they're doing, and they feel like they're an authority in their field, and then they struggle with personal life. And in fact, they're enjoying lockdown because they don't have to do all the social stuff face to face, which is coming. People, like, you're going to have to come back to face to face. You're going to have to see people eventually. But then we look at, okay, so what do you use in your work life that's working for you? How do you, let's say, make people listen to you, or cause people to want to listen to you, or be influenced by you, or enjoy your relationship? And then how do we transfer those things that are working for you into the area of life where you want to build confidence? So for some people, they're really confident in their personal and their work life, but they don't want to show up online. They don't want to do podcasts or lives or even comment, but they want to be able to, but they don't feel like they're able to. So we kind of start from the place of strength, and then we share kind of tools and tips and techniques that are informed by contemporary cabaret, which is a very unusual twist on things. But that's the other part of the story of my life, is that cabaret is my hobby.
And has that process or that way of life, has that impacted you on a personal level?
Oh, hugely. Oh, fully. So I had what would have been perceived as immense amounts of confidence um, in my work life and even in my personal life persona. Because I was really good at that. Because we were talking about being extroverts, and I am a true extrovert. I can show up and do the thing. But once I started reflecting on how I really feel and how I wanted to show up in other ways that I didn't feel able to. Like, for example, everybody said, yeah, you got to come to this because it's going to be so much fun if you're there. So then I had to show up as the fun person. And then it's kind of, but I don't want to be the fun person today. I just want to be the quiet person today. And then of course you get all the, are you okay? What's wrong? So when I started in cabaret, I didn't really even know what it was, but I knew that I needed to take up space, and I knew that I needed to find my own voice. And cabaret and the tools of cabaret has enabled me to do that. Because when I got there, I can run a conference. I can be big and running around the room like Tony Robbins and doing the whole loud thing. But that's because you're listening to my content, as far as I'm concerned, not because I'm taking up space as me. So then when I got into cabaret and I had to take up space as me, I was like, I don't know what to do with that. Like, like that, I don't want to be on display as me. So cabaret has taught me a lot about that, and a lot about what my voice has to say and how to express it and how to own my stage. And I think when we get older, for some of us, we get smaller. In other words, we take up less space, and we're physically, we kind of squeeze ourselves in a little bit more. And I didn't want to be like that in my own personal life. I knew I had to do it in my work life, but I didn't want to be like that in my personal life. I wanted to be however I felt like being.
And I think sometimes that's the burden that extroverts face, right? Because you and I, we started this, all this energy, all this enthusiasm. It's like we knew each other for so many years because our personalities mesh well,
Hmm.
right? But the
Yeah.
moment we dial it down, everyone around us asks us, are you okay? Did someone die? Are you going through this? Are you going through it? It's like we have to be on
Yeah.
every minute of every day, whereas the introvert doesn't even have to be on at all. Not that
Yeah.
we're saying that they're not as important, but people view them differently. They expect us to be high energy, and you probably experience it. People bring us around to bring themselves up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is difficult for people like us because we're always that person that has to energize the room. But let's say, for example, we're going through something. Who is there to bring us up?
Yeah.
Is that something you've dealt with?
Well, yeah. So, so first of all, a lot of my work is in our personality preferences. So a lot of my business work is in that. So I look a lot at introversion and extroversion. And what's interesting is that us as extroverts, other extroverts look to us to bring the energy, but a lot of times introverts don't. And so for my own personal needs, I need everybody to be included. Whether they need to be included or not is a different story. You know, there's my needs and then there's the needs, and they're often quite different. So a lot of times we feel like we have to be on as extroverts, and we don't. We just thought we did, which is an interesting shift when you start looking at it from an introvert's point of view of, actually, I'd rather you not be on, and I'd quite like it if we could sit quietly. You know, and so I guess it depends on the context and you know where you are and so on. But I created this whole persona that stopped me from having to share my own personal life, and more importantly, it stopped me from asking for help, because I didn't like to ask for help. I still don't, but I try. And I didn't like to accept help even when it was offered, because I always needed to feel like I was okay, and I needed other people to think I was okay. That made me feel like I was okay. But
Why do you
actually,
think that? Why do you think that it was an issue for you to ask for help or even receive it?
well, so it's part of that's how my imposter syndrome shows up. You know, and you know, a lot of people talk about imposter syndrome as feeling like, oh, people are going to find out, you know, find out I'm a fake or whatever. That was never a thing for me. It was more about what will people think, which is quite ridiculous in a rational way, because I don't think worse of anybody who asks me for help. In fact, I want to help them. But then I suddenly feel like if I ask for or accept help from other people, then I don't know. It wasn't even a rational thought of, oh, they're going to think less of me. It was just, I felt like I was less capable if I asked for help. So I had an abusive marriage, which I know I've mentioned to you before, and I didn't ask for any help at all. I kept it very quiet.